In a conflict between heart and brain, follow your heart. In a conflict between heart and brain, follow your heart by Swami Vivekananda. Hi everyone, this is Akshay, Faculty of Mathematics, Vivek Vidya, Youth Forum, New Delhi. In today's session, we will be moving a bit further in the chapter Quadratic Equation to Unit 3 of the chapter. We will introduce the concept of completing the square in this unit. And most important session this is, the method completing the square is pretty important and it's easier to. And then we will just introduce few things like quadratic formula. I will just write the formula and what the formula says. I will just tell. And in the NCERT textbook, there are few derivations which are given, how that formula came and all. So I prefer they are not required actually. Right. Let's get started with the session. At times, you might encounter quadratic equations that are not factorized easily, that are not easily factorized into two linear factors. And we cannot even take the square root of them. In such cases, this method of completing the square. What is the method called? Completing the square. Completing the square. The name itself says what is this completing the square is. So actually we will be having a quadratic equation in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. In this standard form, we will be having a quadratic equation. So this quadratic equation, so something in the x square form, something in bx form, something in c form. So we will factorize this in such a way that this complete expression becomes square of a number and this c will be taken onto the other side. This method is pretty simple actually. I am explaining it in a different way. Now, the method will be understood even more better if we take away the steps. Let's think about take down the steps. Steps to solve quadratic equation. By completing this square. By completing the square. Okay. So first step, take the constant, or instead of taking, let me just clear this part. Make it it's very clear. Make the coefficient coefficient of x square what? Make the coefficient of x square 1. Okay. How to make the coefficient of x square 1? By dividing. Like if we have it as 2x square, divide the complete equation by 2. Okay. This is just an example. Okay. This is just an example. Then later, take the constant term towards RHS. Sorry. Towards RHS. Then complete the square. Complete the square in the LHS. Take next step. This is take square root on both the sides take square root on both the sides, arrive at the standard quadratic equation. Arrive at the standard quadratic equation. Arrive at the standard quadratic equation. Let me repeat the steps again. Make the coefficients of x square 1. Take the constant term towards the RHS. Complete the square in the LHS. Take the square on both the square root on both the sides. This many of you might not understand. I will get it over here. So, square root. Take the square root on both the sides. Right. Then arrive at the equation, standard quadratic equation. Later, this is all with the method of completing the square. This is with the method of completing the square. I'll just clear all this down. This is all with the completing the square method. Next, we have one more method known as quadratic formula. I prefer no need derivation. Let me just take a red color off. No need of derivation. Usually they don't ask the derivation of quadratic formula, but rather they ask the application of quadratic formula. Even that is also not usually asked. Let's take my regular yellow color pen, or I take white color. So ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is the quadratic equation. So finding the value of x minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This b square minus 4ac. I'll take a red color now. Write one note over here. You will study this actually in the next unit, but application questions of the next unit has been combined with this unit itself. So we are using quadratic formula in this unit also. So better to know the things in advance. This is greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0. It cannot be less than 0. It cannot be less than 0. It is not less than 0. Okay. If it is less than 0, then roots are imaginary. Usually we get roots as real numbers. Imaginary roots. What are these imaginary roots? Like root of a negative number is actually imaginary root. Root of a negative number. For example, I will take down an example here. Example, I will take root of minus 4. It is not minus 2. It is not equal to minus 2. Root of minus 4 is imaginary. Imaginary. Root of minus 4 is imaginary. Right. Okay. So, application of this formula. This formula stands important. This formula stands very important. Application of this formula is used. If this part is there, no, b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then both the roots are real and they are equal. Both the roots are real and they are equal. Right. Clear with this. If it is greater than 0, if this b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then both the roots are real, but they are not equal. Both the roots are real. Both are real, but not equal. But not equal. So yeah,